This is Kanaya, and today we're going to talk about, the topic is you can't ignore her and expect her to be the same. So, first, let's see if, so, so now, if, let's see if, they, in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, one is talking and one is talking is and one is ignoring, right? So so now, what can she say if she's being ignored by her by another person, you know? So, if a woman is being ignored by her boyfriend, she can express her feelings by communicating directly and calmly. She can say something like, I've noticed you haven't been responding to my calls or texts, and it's making me feel disconnected. I like to understand what's going on. It's important to express her feelings without blaming or accusing, and to invite him to have a conversation about their relationships. Here's a more detailed approach. Number one, acknowledge the behavior. So this is the girlfriend that's speaking, right? That's woman that's speaking. And her boyfriend alone is ignoring her. So we're just doing a little role playing, but not role playing, but a little get together solution. So start by stating the specific behavior that's concerning her, such as, I've noticed you haven't been answering my calls for the past week, and I've noticed you've been canceling our plans recently. Number two, express her feelings. Explain how the behavior is affecting her using I statements. For example, I feel hurt when I'm ignored, or I feel disconnected when we don't communicate. You can say it right there. So that's what she can say to express her feelings. Number three, invite communication. She can ask for a conversation to understand what's happening and to address any potential issues in the relationships. A good way to do this is by saying, I like to understand what's going on. Can we talk about it? Number four, ask for what she needs. If she feels comfortable, she can also ask for what she needs from him. This can be more communication, more affection, or simply more understanding. Number five, be patient and understanding. It is important to be patient and understanding if he needs space or time to process things. Suggest a time frame for checking in with each other to maintain connection. Examples: for the past week, you haven't answered my calls, and it's making me feel like you're not interested in talking to me. I'd like to understand what's going on and if there's anything I can do to help. Would you be open to talking about it? So he might say yes, or he might say no, depending on the relationships. So now what can she say if what she say if to address it if she's being ignored by her. So let's see. So so let's see. So let's see. So now once we get this addressed, so let's see to another person. See, let's see. So now let's say I'm the friend and the other person has a boyfriend who's been ignoring her and who hasn't been answering her calls. So what can we do to help out? So we can support that person by saying this. I could understand how you feel or where you're coming from. So now this is the friend that's speaking and to express her feelings. So supporting a friend whose boyfriend is ignoring her, if your friend is experiencing emotional distress because her boyfriend is ignoring her, there are some things you can say or and do to offer support and help her through this difficult time. Things to say: express concerns and valid express concern and validate feelings. It seems like your boyfriend hasn't been in contact lately. How are you feeling? It's normal to feel hurt, confused, or frustrated when someone you care about isn't communicating. Offer to listen without judgment. You can talk about it if you want. Share what's on your mind. The focus is on listening, not judging or offering advice. Remind of her worth. Remember all the great things that make her a strong, independent, and caring person. Don't let his actions make her doubt her value or self worth. Suggest a different approach. Have you considered communicating with him differently or taking some space to focus on herself? If the situation seems unhealthy, gently express concerns. If this behavior is hurting her, it's important to consider if this relationship is making her happy and feeling respected. Things to do: encourage activities she enjoys. Let's do something fun this weekend, whether it's a walk in the park, a movie night, or trying a new hobby. It's important to keep her spirits up and engage in things that brings her joy. Help her connect with loved ones. How does reaching out to friends and family members she hasn't seen in a while, spending time with people who care about is who, well spending time with people who care about her is essential. Offer practical help if appropriate. If help is needed with anything like errands or tasks, offer assistance. Just ask what she needs. Support her decisions. Ultimately, this is her relationship and support her choices as long as her happiness and well-being are prioritized. Suggest professional help if needed. If she's feeling overwhelmed or struggling to cope, remember that it's okay to seek professional guidance from a therapist or a counselor. Remember, The role as a friend is to offer support without judging, blaming, or pushing any agenda. Encourage her to prioritize her own well being and make choices that lead to a healthy and fulfilling life. So, or you can let her know that you'll have a word with him and see what he says from there. So now you supported her and help her get through things. And so now what you can say, well, what we can do is to let him know that she doesn't like to feel ignored, you know? Guess it's not. So let's see. So let's see what this is. So let's see. So now we can tell him that you can't ignore her and expect her to be the same. So that's the topic that we're talking about here. So you can't ignore her and expect her to be the same. So before we get to this, let's see what we could ask him. Let's see. Well, what can you say? So let's see. So let's see. She said to her friend. Let's see if he's ignoring her. So let's say, what can you say to a man that's been ignoring her and ignoring her feelings? So if a boyfriend is ignoring his girlfriend, she could try communicating her feelings. Let's see. Say something like, I've noticed you've been distant lately. Well, she could try communicating her feelings by saying something like, I've noticed you've been distant lately, and it makes me feel hurt and worried. Can we talk about what's going on? She can also express her need for attention and connection, saying, I need more communication from you, and I feel like I'm not getting it. It's important to me it's important to me that we talk about this. Openly sharing her feelings and setting clear boundaries about communication is the key. So 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 now let's see what can you say if he's so let's see. So let's use she statements. Let's go back for a second. So if a boyfriend is ignoring his girlfriend, she could let's use she statements this time. If a boyfriend is ignoring his girlfriend, you could try communicating her feelings by saying something like, she's noticed you've been distant lately and it makes her feel hurt and worried. Can we talk about what's going on? You can also express her needs for attention and connection, saying she needs more communication from you and she feels like she's not getting it. It's important to her that we talk about this. Openly sharing her feelings and setting clear boundaries about communication is key. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Number one, expression her feelings. She've noticed that you've been distant lately. This acknowledges the change in his behavior without being escalatory. It makes her feel hurt and worried. This communicates the emotional impact of his actions. She feels like she's not getting the attention that she needs. So this highlights the need for more communication and connection. It will mean it will mean a it will mean a lot to her if y'all could talk about what's going on. This can encourage open dialogue and problem solving. Number two, setting boundaries. I need you to respond to my messages. So let's see. Let's use she statement this time, not I statements. So she needs you to respond to her messages, even if it's just a quick reply, because that's you talking to a person that's been ignoring her, that's been ignoring her calls and stuff. This establishes a concrete expectation for communication. She needs to feel like she can talk to you when she's feeling down. This clarifies the importance of emotional support. She won't tolerate being ignored. This sounds a firm boundary about his behavior. Number three, being direct and specific. When you don't respond to her calls, it makes her feel like you don't care or show support. This connects his actions to her feelings in a specific way. She will appreciate it if you could let her know if you're busy or need space. This provides an alternative to outright ignoring her. Number four, seeking support. Can we talk about this with a friend or a therapist? If the issue persists, seeking external support can be helpful. Important considerations: calm and respectful communication. Using a calm and respectful tone is critical for effective communication. Active listening. It's important to listen to his perspective as well. Understanding potential reasons. Consider that he might have other things on his mind or need space. Self-care. Self-care. While addressing this issue, it's also important to focus on self-care and maintain healthy boundaries. So let's see what we can. Let's go back to this for a second, because this would be our only reason that we're going to do this, so we can all support from each other. Let's see. You can't ignore her and expect her to be the same. You can't spend days without checking on her, without asking her how she's doing, without showing her you care, and then expect her to be fine like nothing's wrong. She's not made of stone, meaning like she has feelings. Well, meaning that she has feelings, and 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 she's feeling hurt, and is feeling hurt by your lack of words and your actions. So that's what this supposed to means. Like, so the girlfriend is feeling hurt on the inside, cause the boyfriend is ignoring her. Like, she feels the silence, she feels the distance, and every time you forget her, a piece of her heart fades. Meaning, like, so let's see, piece of her heart fades. So let's go back for a second. Her, her piece of heart of, let's see, piece of heart fate. Well, fate. So meaning. So let's see. So the phrase "a piece of our heart fades" suggests a loss or diminishing of something precious with a person, of often associated with emotions, hope, or well-being. It can be interpreted in several ways depending on context, loss of love or romantic feeling, and relationships. This phrase might describe the fading of a passionate love or the slow dying of affection for a partner, diminishing of emotional resilience. It could also refer to a person losing their ability to cope with pain and disappointment, becoming hardening or emotional numb over time due to repeated hearts or prolonged sadness. Erosion of trust, repeated instances of forgiveness for betrayal without genuine change can lead to the fading of a woman's trust and a hardening of her heart. The slow fade in grief. While grieving the loss of a loved one, the process of moving on can feel like a slow fade where the pain might lessen but the absence remains. In summary, her heart her piece of heart phase evokes a sense of loss and a gradual weakening of a woman's emotional capacity, often in response to painful experience or prolonged emotional strain. So, piece of her heart face is suggests of loss or diminishing of something precious within the person. So let's see. So so a piece of her heart fades every time you act like she doesn't matter. She starts to believe it. You can't give her so little and expect her to give you her all. You can't come back only when it's easy for you and expect her to wait like before, because the more you ignore her, the more she learns how to live without you. And when you finally come back, you'll see she's not the same anymore. She's already done. So let's see what this means by what the saying is. So let's see. So let's go back for a second. So what this saying means: ignoring someone, especially a romantic interest, can severely damage a relationship. It can lead to emotional distance, loss of trust, and eventually the end of the connection. Ignoring a person, even if it's unintentional, communicates a lack of care and respect, which can be very hurtful. Here's a more detailed explanation. Emotional impact. Ignoring someone, particularly someone you care about, can cause feelings of hurt, sadness, and even anger. It can make them feel unimportant and unloved. Erosion of trust. When someone feels ignored, they start to they start when someone feels ignored, they may start to question the other person's feelings and intentions. This can erode trust, which is critical foundation for any relationships. Loss of connection. Ignoring someone can lead to a gradual fading of the emotional connection between people. If one person feels constantly ignored, they may start to withdraw and emotionally detach from the relationship. Communication breakdown. Ignoring someone often leads to a breakdown in communication. When someone is ignored, they are less likely to share their thoughts and feelings, which can create a cycle of silence and distance. Ignoring as manipulations. Ignoring as manipulation. Some people use ignoring as a tactic to control or punish their partner. While this might seem effective in short term, it is harmful and manipulative behavior that will ultimately damage the relationship. Respect is critical. A healthy relationship requires mutual respect. Ignoring someone demonstrates a lack of respect for their feelings and needs, which is a major obstacle to building and maintaining a strong connection. In short, ignoring a person can create a ripple effect of negative consequences that ultimately harm the relationship. It's important to communicate openly and honestly with loved ones, even when there are disagreements or conflicts. So, you know why we have to discuss disagreements? Because, you know, even if they disagree, it's important to discuss disagreements so they'll know why or understand of let's see what are reasons to let's see so we discuss disagreements. So so the reason why we have to so disagreements are discussed because when handled constructively, they provide opportunities for personal and collective growth and lead to better understanding outcomes. Benefits of discussing disagreements include understanding and empathy. Discussion about differences offer insights into others' perspective, motivation, and values. This can foster empathy and build stronger relationships. Clarifying perspective. Discussions help articulate viewpoints, allowing for examination and refinement of belief. They also help others understand different positions more accurately. Problem solving and innovation. Disagreements can highlight areas where alternative solutions are needed. Dialogue and diverse ideas can generate creative solutions and inform decisions. Building trust and strengthening relationships. Addressing disagreements openly and respectfully demonstrates a willingness to work through challenges and fosters trust. This strengthens relationships, personal growth, and development. Navigating disagreements constructively requires skills like active listening, emotional intelligence, and self-regulations. These skills contribute toward personal growth and help individuals become more adaptable and resilient. Discussing disagreements allows moving beyond the superficial differences and and delving into deeper underlying issues. This this process leads to a more nuanced understanding of oneself and others, fostering collaboration and promoting growth and progress. So even if even if even if the person disagrees, on some. So even if you agree on one thing and the other person disagree on another thing, that means we gotta understand why they disagree on certain things, or what's the purpose of a disagreement. Like, so we just gotta understand stuff like that. But you don't have to give them the silent treatment and act like you don't know or understand what the person is saying. So so that's why we have to use our listening skills to understand. So I hope this video helps you. So I hope you like, subscribe, and comment down below on my YouTube video. Thanks for watching.